Hi guys, Andy here. Now this was actually a request by a viewer, and I'll be honest, I'm sorry I forgot to look back and see who it was exactly. But I've got here the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6. So it is a Vodafone branded device, but it's otherwise known as the ZTE Blade S6 Plus. This is Vodafone's own version. Have a look on the back, we can see it's a 5.5-inch screen, it's got 2 gig of RAM. It's got 4G connection, 3000 mAh battery, 13 megapixel camera with 5 megapixel front facing, 16 gig of storage, and it's got space for a micro SD card. It's got an octa-core, 1.5 gigahertz and 1 gigahertz CPU, and it's running Lollipop. So it sounds quite promising. I should point out actually the big reason I'm doing this is it's a budget device that's been very highly thought of apparently by others, so I thought I'd best give it a crack. It only cost me £125. Interestingly, I looked at the ZTE Blade S6 Plus on eBay and they're all selling for about £180. So I thought, okay, that's interesting. The Vodafone are selling it so much cheaper. It'll cost me £3 and a bit to unlock it, but still, that's not too bad. So there's the device itself. It feels very light. I don't know if the battery's got to go into there. I almost hope it does, otherwise it feels very... Maybe not though. It does feel very light. The specs have it down as 139 grams. It feels lighter than that. We'll come back to that in a second though. Let's have a look in the rest of the box. So there's some Vodafone branding obviously in the box. I'm assuming... Okay. This is our sort of warranty and instructions maybe. I like that. It's sort of pictorially. Headphone jack in the top, USB in the bottom, power and volume on the sides. Insert micro SD card. Optionally, SIM card. Yeah, I don't think particularly. It looks sort of nicely laid out though. It's quite sort of simplistically done. Oh, we've got a SIM ejection tool at the... I don't want to lose that. In there. Oops, sorry. There. Right, so let's package that back up for the minute. Then in the rest of the box we've got the micro USB cable. I'm guessing those bits either side are probably hollow. They are. I'm guessing this is the 3-pin. There we go. Why not? Just look and see how many amps it is. Let's not worry. And the earphones, which they look a bit sort of budgety. Let's not worry too much. But I generally, when I unbox or even when I use a device, generally everything stays as it is. Boxed right there because I just don't need any of that stuff. You know, I've got chargers, I've got earphones, I've got all of that. So I'll have to watch the video to see exactly how they went back together. Right, let's have a look at the device. So again, on the front here, it's telling us this IPS display. I think I mentioned that, but it's telling us everything that we just went through on the back. So let's pull that off. It feels a pretty good device. Now I can see, I don't know if you can see that, there is a protective back cover as well. Let's just try and, there we go. Ooh. Remove that as well. So it feels light, almost too light, and it's a bit slippy as well as my first thoughts. So pretty big device, a 5.5-inch screen. It's quite a sort of tall device. Let's bring in my note. There's a bit of a comparison. My Note 5 on the left. I want to keep calling it a Blade S6 Plus now. Smart Ultra 6. Sorry, there we go. So, speaker at the bottom, camera and flash at the top. There's the headphone jack. There's the SIM socket, the micro SD, microphone, power volume. Oh, hang on. One's micro SD. I forget which variant it was now. So let's see if there's any juice in this. It does. It feels very light. I mean, that's a good thing, I suppose. You don't want a heavy brick feeling device. So ZTE, they have quite a good history. I was trying to remember what the ZTE device was that I bought from Orange way back. I mean, we're talking 3 or 4 years ago, and it was a bit of a legend in some ways. It was known for being an amazing device for the money that you paid, and so it's quite nice that I'm sort of coming back to ZTE for another iteration of a budget device at their hands. Just now waiting for it to boot up. It comes in 2 different colours. So this was the silver, effectively, and there was a kind of grey or blackish device. Okie dokie. So here we are. I've skipped through some of the setup and the boot up. 10 additional screens, touch, hold, and drag. Okay. Swipe right to access your personalised news. Okay. Organise your space. Yep. We know all that bit. Okay, there we are. So, welcome to my... you can quick view importance or a tap or a second downward swipe. By a tap or a second downward swipe. Dismiss. Yep. So, okay, it's giving us some very basic... But there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you've not used a... We're into my personalised news. Okay, so it's with Flipboard. That's fine. We know Flipboard, I think, generally. How do we get back out? You can swipe down from the top. Yeah, we've seen that bit. Discover. So this is Vodafone's bloat, you could say. We've got 27 updates. Bloody, how's it got 27 apps? How's it got that many apps installed? Or is it actually talking about... Okay, that's a lot of updates. Basically everything. There's nothing at this point up to date. That's fine. We can do... more tips. You can swipe right from the main screen. Yeah, we've seen that, haven't we? Okay, setting display favorite. Okay, right. Is that the camera, that icon? Right, so first impressions. It seems pretty slick, pretty quick, quite smooth, responsive. I'm assuming that's the camera then. Let's go and have a quick look at the camera. So auto manual mode, let's go. So it's a relatively quick shutter. And first glance, it looks a little hazy, a little fuzzy. Maybe it's hard to see really on the phone screen itself. Felt some heat up the top there. So actually, although, like I say, it felt a little light at first feel, it feels alright though. It feels quite well made. It feels pretty good build quality. Let's just turn the screen off a second. So no, I haven't done it in a long time. I used to do it all the time. It's just try sort of bending, and I think that noise actually to my fingers rather than... So most of the noise is that kind of stuff rather than the device. So it seems a pretty well put together device, I've got to say. And yeah, it's light, but that's not a problem. But it doesn't... I don't think, having held it for even just a few minutes, I wouldn't say it feels cheap. It feels light, but not cheap. So let's look at the screen. So the screen itself is only actually a 720p screen, 1280 by 720. But generally, I mean, I think we get far too carried away with flaming like 4K screens on a mobile phone. Whereas actually, you know, nice bright colours there, nice clear text. I would say that's a good looking white on the background. There does look to be a lot of Vodafone apps at the top there. Bit of a worry. And I mean, just from what I hear there, the speaker actually sounds reasonable. Let's see if we've got YouTube, so let's... later, let's not bore you for the minute with me installing or updating apps. Oh no, let's go in as me. Let's have a look at Marquez, shall we? after the advert anyway. I assume we're at the best quality. Okay, so actually on 1080p. I'm sure the screen's only 720p.
Weeks ago, and this is the iPhone 6s Plus. So I'm not dreaming of this guy on day one, but that is actually coming.
So the speaker's not too bad. I still think that. I mean, I think that screen looks.
New specs and the new display. The new camera is
Hopefully, my cousin won't get too upset that we're using him in my review. What else can we? Bit of equals 3.
Okay, if you follow me on social media, you probably saw that I was in Germany. I shot some stuff. I'm pretty excited about it. Check it out. Yeah, that's all there is. I was drunk. Alright, this is an oldie but a goodie. Came out earlier this year. Has almost 1 million.
Viewing angles look pretty good. I would say that's a pretty good screen. I hate when I forget about that. We don't want you. There's not really a huge amount. Anything else that I should look at? No. Well, so okay. Let's just nip into settings about phone. So it's okay. It's version 5.0.2. I don't really know that any rest of that is going to make that much of a difference to anybody. I suppose while I'm here. Oh. Okay. So that's saying there is an update, or it's not even one of checking because I haven't got the battery. We'll see. I'll find out. So there we go. That'll do just for a sort of a quick look around. Obviously, I'll be doing various tests. It's kind of tricky because it's a budget device, but I haven't got another budget device with a screen that big. So some tests kind of, if I'm comparing, the ideal device for me to compare it against will be my Moto G 3rd Gen. But you're unlikely to be deciding between those two because they're quite different form factors. Whereas this against the Nexus 6 and the Note 5 are similar form factors, but you're unlikely to be deciding between them. Having said that, I've already seen some people asking the question, is this, how much will they lose out on performance getting something like this, the Smart Ultra 6, compared to, I don't think it said the Note 5, but I think it was one of the higher end devices. So maybe that'll be a reasonable sort of matchup. I'll do all my usual stuff, some video tests, some head-to-heads, and then of course I'll do my actual review probably around the weekend. So if you've got any specific questions, please do let me know. But this is the Vodafone Smart Ultra 6, £125 SIM-free, but locked to Vodafone. On initial impressions, it looks like it's a very good buy. Good purchase, I should say. So, there you go. Let me know your thoughts down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. My name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.